long time, there has been people who made it their mission to make sure that you felt insignificant. That is because a lot of times people can see the anointing on you before you can. I feel like God intentionally sets life up like that on purpose. For one, to see who is going to actually be kind to people who are perceived as different, but also to show us individually as God's children who is for us and who is not. That's honestly an extremely important lesson to learn, because over time you'll begin to realize that you are not regular. You are not a target because there's something wrong with you. You are a target because they feel that godness in you and they know there's something different about you. But just because there's something different about you does not mean that there's something wrong with you. You have to move differently, okay, when you have anointing over your life. You cannot move the same as everybody else. You cannot do what everybody else does. You can't just walk around here like everything is just all peaches and creams, okay? Because for those of you who believe in spirituality on a deep level, like, you understand that we live in a physical realm, but you also understand that the spiritual realm is very much real, and there are energies that are at play that we cannot see with the human eye, i.e. God, the Most High God, right? So for those of you who understand that, please understand that you have a huge, huge, and a very important rank in the spiritual realm, okay? Your spirit is an old spirit. It's been here for a long time. Some of you have been here since the beginning. Some of you really have a team behind you that is like, they're not playing about you. They may protect you, but they're also going to like get on you, as well as the Most High God is going to get on you to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do. There is nothing insignificant about you. People may have wanted you to feel like that, but I feel like you should be at a place now where you understand, I'm not insignificant. I'm just not regular. Of course I'm a target. Of course they're going to come for me. Of course, like, I'm not like y'all, okay? I don't look like y'all. I don't talk like y'all. I don't act like y'all. I don't think like y'all. Of course, a small-minded person is going to target me instead of seeing the value in me. Of course, they're going to get in their little groups and try to come for me. Of course, they're going to have their little book club meetings about the queen and the book club meetings about the king. Of course they're going to do that. That's what they're supposed to do. But what you're supposed to do is remember how powerful you are and how anointed you are, and remember that you need to move different. You can't throw a pity party all the time. You can't say, I'm one of God's children and I'm chosen, and then be sad about it. That is an honor, okay? It may not be easy, but it's an honor, okay? It's just like anybody who has any level of status or any type of privilege, like somebody who is a king or a queen in real life, because we do have real kings and queens and princesses and princes and all of that, or CEOs of major companies and things of that nature. People who have a certain position and a certain reputation to protect, they have to move different. They cannot move like their employees. They cannot move like the spectators. They have to move different. It's not about looking down on these people. It's about understanding, I am different, so I have to move different. Or if you want different, you have to move different. You can't move the same as everybody else just because you feel like it'll make you more comfortable. It's not going to work like that. So when I say don't throw the pity parties, what I mean is you have to reclaim your power, okay? You have to keep your vibration high. I'm always going to remind you guys to keep your vibration high, because that is extremely important now more than ever. But it's very important for you as somebody who is anointed by God, somebody who does consider themselves chosen. Even if you don't call yourself that, you understand that you are cut different from everybody else. You can't throw the pity parties. You have to know who you are. You got to stand in. You got to own it at some point. You have to tap into your confidence, okay? Confidence is something that I believe you can fake it till you make it, okay? You can fake confidence until it becomes something real. It's kind of just like reciting affirmations over and over again, and like looking in the mirror and affirming certain things to yourself, like changing how you dress. Like, I've been seeing this trend, and it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with this, but I've been seeing a trend on TikTok where it's like when you finally stop dressing like a teenager, and it's different men and women who have been showing how they used to dress, and they're showing how they dress now, and they dress more for their age and they look really, really nice. So it's kind of like that. When you want different, you want to be approached differently, you have to move differently, but you also need to pour into yourself. Be confident. If you have spiritual gifts, if you know you're spiritually gifted, don't sit around all day complaining about people judging you or coming after you. You got to change your narrative. I know everybody is on different levels of their spiritual awakening and their journey, so don't take offense to what I'm saying. I know some of you guys are not in that headspace yet, but for those of you who have been on this journey for a long time, and I know this because y'all be in my comments telling me, oh, this has been going on for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Honey, it's no way I'm going to allow someone to have the ups on me for 5, 10, 15 years. It's just not happening. I'm going to understand, okay, at some point, I'm that girl, I'm that guy. Like I'm really somebody who needs to be protected, but I also need to protect myself. I need to protect my energy. I need to reclaim my power. I need to switch my perspective. If people are coming at me constantly and trying to make me a target, which that has been my story as well, y'all already know, then I'm going to just own it, right? I'm just gonna own that about myself, because what else am I gonna do? I can't sit around and like be the victim all the time. At some point, I have to step into that victor role and put my crown on and sit on my throne and say, you know what? God anointed me for this. God put me through this for a reason. And I'm going to snatch my power back from every single peon, every single bully, every single person who has something to say. And I'm going to pour into myself, okay? Because that's alchemy, right? That's what an alchemist does. That's what the phoenix does. They rise from the ashes of what people try to burn you under, okay? The fire that they try to throw at you, you can handle it. You can handle that heat. You can handle what people are trying to say about you, okay? So I need you guys to remember that going forward. This is not just about worrying about the karmics. It's not just about worrying about people talking about you. Like, again, I always say this. When I pick up on energy and I pick up on a message, I'm going to talk about it. If there's a karmic in your energy that I'm picking up on, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to speak on it. But I always remind you guys, it's not about them. It's about you. I'm still going to pour life and love and light into you guys in my message, because that's what I want you to focus on. The karmic messages, or any of my messages, is only to reiterate certain things that you have been feeling, or to clarify certain things that you have been feeling yourself, because you guys are spiritually gifted. You're intuitive. You know if somebody's been coming for you. You understand what's going on in your life. I'm basically here as a messenger to affirm that for you, to affirm your feelings, okay? But that doesn't mean we're going to sit around and complain about it all day, okay? At some point you got to realize, okay, let me let this go, okay? Because I'm powerful. I understand what God put me on this earth to do. And if I don't understand it, it's my responsibility to get to the point where I do understand it, okay? You have to move different, because the more that you say and speak these things and focus on it over and over again, like, there's people, and again, this is no judgment. I understand everybody's on different journeys, and I'm really not judging anybody. I'm just using this as an example. There are people, every single video, they comment the exact same thing, and it's always in reference to what somebody did to them 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Let it go. Because what you are basically showing the universe and showing God, that this person still has power over you. You have not forgiven yourself for being in that situation. You have not forgiven that person for being in that situation. And you are still in a place of resentment. And resentment is a low vibration. You cannot attract what's for you if you are constantly worried about something that happened to you 5, 10 years ago. I'm not talking about like psychological abuse or physical abuse or SA. I'm not talking about that specifically. Obviously, that can take more time. I'm talking about people cheating on you. I'm talking about things that you have overcame, or just like small little things, or people taking your job, or taking your man, or taking your woman, like things. And I'm not saying those things aren't important. I'm just saying that's small-ish to a giant, okay? That doesn't matter anymore. Who are you now? Have you reclaimed your power yet? Because I guarantee you, this person, whether they have received their karma or not, they have moved on with their life and probably lived 5, 10 more lives since then, okay? How many times have you transformed? How many times have you evolved, okay? At some point, you have to let it go. That little tidbit that I just gave y'all is for who it's for. If it's not for you, then leave it. But I hope that inspires somebody to reclaim their power. And don't be a weakling, because there's nothing weak about you, okay? There's nothing weak about you. They may have wanted you to feel weak and insignificant because they did not want you to know your power. But honey, I need you to snatch it, okay? I need you to reclaim your power and say, no, this is who I am. I am powerful, okay? And it goes back to what I was saying before about how confidence is important on this journey, and how sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. So if you gotta say affirmations to yourself, if you have to like be disciplined and push yourself when you don't feel like it, do those things, because eventually it will become a habit, okay? When we're manifesting or we're asking God for things, we have to embody the energy of what we're asking for before it shows up in the physical. I'm pretty sure any of you guys who have been overly focused on the past and you're holding on to resentment or whatever the case is, I'm pretty sure you don't want to be that way. You don't want to focus on the pain that people caused you, okay? You don't want to stay in a place of hurt. You don't want to stay in a place of being unforgiving, right? So if that's the case, why are you focused on it? Why are you not taking the necessary steps to get out of that place, okay? I feel like a lot of you guys should definitely try to journal your thoughts and emotions, because that is more productive. But also maybe seek out some type of counseling or some type of therapy that never hurt anybody. But just reiterating like over and over again, like for 5 years, 10 years, like, honey, is that the life that you want for yourself? Because the only thing you're doing is holding yourself back. Because what if this person harmed you 10 years ago, right? What if God has already forgiven that person? What if that person has already paid for what they did to you, and they have turned over a new leaf and they're thriving? Because that does happen. And you are still 10 years later stuck in a place of resentment for something that God has already forgiven that person for. Ouch. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's true. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you have choices that you have to make. You're not perfect either. These karmics are not perfect. We may talk about them. They may be peons because that is just what it is. But at the end of the day, God can turn somebody's life around if that person is willing to turn their life around and meet God halfway. Same goes for you. So if that's the case, if you are somebody who wants to forgive, you want to like let go of resentment, I need you to start intentionally practicing doing it. It may take time, but at least start. Okay, you can't hold grudges against people. That is so low vibrational. Even if you feel like you're justified, that does not negate the fact that you are vibrating low and you are attracting low frequency things, because that's the level that you're on. So again, I'm always going to remind you guys, keep your vibration high, okay? Stay elevated, all right? There are going to be times that you're going to think about things that happened to you in your past, and you're going to have a moment, and you're going to cry about it, and you're going to feel some type of way. That's your right as a human, but I always tell you guys, you cannot stay in that energy. Feel your feelings, feel your emotions, and then transmute it back into love. Affirm positive things to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. Decide, okay, this person from my past, whether it was a mother figure, a significant other, a friend, coworker, boss, whatever, they did something to me that hurt me, but that does not align with the person I am, and it doesn't align with the life I want to live. So I'm going to take that situation that I went through, I'm going to learn a lesson from it, and I'm going to allow it to empower me and also intentionally attract someone who does align with this new version of me. Because at the end of the day, you have to try your best to look at these situations that you've gone through as a lesson learned and something that you evolved from. Because would you be this powerful person that you are? Would you be this confident person that you are if you did not go through those things that you went through? Some of it we can definitely say is unwarranted. I definitely have things in my past that I went through that I'm not fully capable of understanding. I just try to find the humor in the situation and try my best to transmute it just like anybody else. But there's a lot of things we go through that are kind of low-key petty, and it's like you got to charge it to the game, and you can't allow that to like reflect onto you. Like what this person did to me, that is a representation of them. It holds no weight on me. It doesn't determine my value. It doesn't determine my worth, or even the mistakes that we make as humans that don't have anything to do with other people. That is a past version of me. Okay, that version of me does not exist, and I have intentionally took the steps necessary to evolve and change into a better me, okay? So the premise of this message is just about elevation. Yes, I want to motivate you guys to be elevated, but honestly, honey, I feel like a lot of you guys in my collective are doing a very, very, very good job of elevating yourself, growing through the pain and the struggle that you may have experienced, but you're trying, okay? Every day you're trying. Every day is not going to be perfect, but you are intentionally trying to get your mental health together. You are intentionally trying to be more positive. You're intentionally trying to have more self-love for yourself and attract love and be open and receptive to love, even when life has shown you every reason not to be. Y'all are doing an amazing job, okay? Like, I'm really proud of you guys. I know it's a mix of you guys on my channel. Again, don't take offense to anything that I'm saying. Everything I say is definitely with love, but I just want to remind you guys of your power, and I want to remind you guys that you are not insignificant, and if you want different out of this life, you're going to have to move different, okay? Because you're not regular, you're not like everybody else, so you cannot do what everybody else does.